There are many similarities in the stories of both Cyberpunk 2077 and No Man's Sky. They both had marketing campaigns that made grand promises, but failed to deliver upon launch. The good news for Cyberpunk is that, as we all know, No Man's Sky had one hell of a comeback. It went from being a disappointment to one of the greatest games in gaming. But, how? How did Hello Games, the developers behind No Man's Sky, drag their game out of the mud? How did they win back the trust of gamers? And more importantly, can Cyberpunk 2077 do the same? My name is BT, and welcome to the Internet Connection. Leading up to the launch of No Man's Sky, Hello Games founder Sean Murray went on numerous interviews to talk about the game. With each interview he kept making ambitious promises and gamers were getting more and more hyped for the game. But when it came time for launch, the game was not what people were led to believe. Not even close.
I landed, and he started doing this. Yep, you're watching it. That thing is humping my spaceship.
Cyberpunk 2077 followed a very similar pattern. The hype cycle for Cyberpunk started with a teaser posted in 2013, followed by 5 years of silence until E3 2018, where the first official trailer for Cyberpunk 2077 was released. The crowd went wild. A lengthy gameplay trailer dropped which further bolstered expectations. And then, at E3 2019, Cyberpunk 2077 would do something that would send ripples through the entire gaming world.
The feeling of being there, of walking the streets of the future, is really going to be breathtaking. You're breathtaking. You're all breathtaking.
From this point forward, the hype train for Cyberpunk was unstoppable. The expectations of gamers grew with each Night City Wire CD Projekt Red put out. Little did they know, they were on track for a collision course. Cyberpunk 2077 launched in December 2020, and it was immediately apparent that not even Cyberpunk could survive the wrath of 2020. It launched broken on PC and almost unplayable on consoles. Many features that were shown off and talked about were missing from the final product. It was half the game that it was supposed to be. Somehow, Cyberpunk 2077 went from being one of the most anticipated games of all time, to quite possibly having the worst launch in gaming history. It disappointed many people, including my master, and I'm sure it would have disappointed me too, were I not just a disembodied voice. Nevertheless, the situation with Cyberpunk was dire, yes. But there was still hope. Hope for a potential comeback. The thing that made No Man's Sky into such a success, was that Sean Murray learned from his mistakes. After the rough launch of No Man's Sky, Hello Games did what every game that launches in a broken state should do. They went radio silent regarding No Man's Sky and started working on fixing their game. They did not apologize for the game. They didn't release a roadmap to show how they planned to fix the game. They didn't try and reassure gamers that the game would be wonderful once it was fixed. Hello Games just went to work and fixed the game. Almost 4 months later, the first of many updates was ready. And the rest is history. Update after update, they made the game into what it should have been, and even more. Even now, in 2021, the game is better than it has ever been, continually receiving regular updates. Hello Games let their actions speak for them and not their words. This is exactly what CD Projekt Red has not been doing. If Cyberpunk 2077 is really going to pull a No Man's Sky, CD Projekt Red needs to stop talking and start working. In the same amount of time that Hello Games fixed No Man's Sky and introduced new content to it, CD Projekt Red has done neither for Cyberpunk 2077. They've released major updates for the game, but they served as band-aids for the issues that really plagued the game, fundamental gameplay issues such as AI, driving, and an underwhelming police system, all things that were hyped up during the game's marketing. Cyberpunk 2077 still has the potential to pull a No Man's Sky and become what the developers wanted it to be. But if that is what they want, I believe that they should follow the example set by Hello Games and let their actions speak for them. Nothing they can say will make gamers trust them again. The only way they can win back the consumer goodwill they had, is if they do what is necessary and fix their game. From our side, I don't see how they could do it. To get the game to the level that they promised and that people expected would take at least a year of development, if not more. In addition, in the game's current state, Cyberpunk 2077 has too many gameplay issues that can't be fixed without an overhaul. As much as I would love to play the game that we were promised, I think they should just get the game stable on all platforms, visually and performance-wise. Then give us the DLCs and call it a day. But that's just me. Feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments below. From my master and I, thank you for watching this video. This is BT. Shutting down.